In this video, I'll explain exchange-traded funds or ETFs and how you can use them to invest and grow your wealth, and we're starting right now. Hey everyone, Elliot here. So let's talk about exchange-traded funds or ETFs. These funds are hugely important investment tools and you really need to know about them. Now, to understand ETFs, it helps to understand mutual funds because these two financial instruments are alike in many ways. If you want to get familiar with mutual funds, I have a detailed video on them with a link in the description below, but in the meantime, here is a 10-second review. A mutual fund is a pool of money from many investors that is used to purchase securities such as stocks. You buy shares of the fund and then you're invested in whatever stocks the fund owns. If it's a managed fund, then a fund manager will pick the stocks, and if it's an index fund, then the stocks in the fund are tied to an index such as the S&P 500. So an ETF is very much the same. It's also a pool of money and it also buys stocks which you are now invested in as a shareholder of the ETF. So what exactly are the differences? Well, there are a few. The main difference is that an ETF behaves more like a stock than a fund. What that means is that there's no minimum to invest and you can buy just one share of an ETF. ETFs can also be shorted and bought on margin, which means using borrowed money from a broker, which is something you can't do with a mutual fund. ETFs are also very liquid and can be traded easily, so you can arguably look at an ETF as an improved version of a mutual fund. ETFs started their life and became famous for low-cost tracking of indices. In fact, the very first ETF in the US, and still the most widely known and traded one today, the SPDR S&P 500, or SPDR as it's called, is an index fund that tracks the S&P 500. The second biggest ETF in the US is the iShares Core S&P 500, which also tracks the S&P 500. ETFs in general are relatively new kids on the financial block, first appearing in 1990. Nearly 35 years later, they've become quite popular with over 8,700 ETFs available worldwide and with nearly 10 trillion in combined assets. Here in the US, there are just over 3,000 ETFs available with 6.5 trillion in combined assets. Just like with mutual funds, you can have all sorts of ETFs, and really the sky's the limit here. When most people discuss ETFs, they're talking about market ETFs, which all invest in index stocks. You can also invest in bond ETFs, commodities ETFs, and foreign ETFs, among others. There are some managed ETFs as well, and those can invest in certain industry or sectors or have their own unique style or investing approach. Managed ETFs are the closest in style to a regular mutual fund. Now, as an investor deciding if ETFs are for you, you may be interested in the advantages and disadvantages of investing in them. Here are a few advantages, and if you know index funds well, you'll recognize all of these. Advantage 1 is low fees. This comes with the territory of being a passive index tracker, and this is something all such ETFs have in common with index funds. The average index ETF carries a 0.2 expense ratio, with many ETFs charging far less. Advantage number 2 is diversification. This also comes with the territory of any ETF or mutual fund that tracks a major index. If your ETF is tied to the S&P 500, you're investing in 500 companies from just about every sector and industry. Advantage number 3 is low entry threshold. This is a major ETF only advantage over mutual funds. If you check around, many desirable mutual funds have a minimum initial investment of anywhere from $1,000 to $10,000. Not so with ETFs. You can just buy one share to get started. Advantage number 4 is taxes. Index ETFs incur fewer capital gain taxes because they sell far less stocks than managed funds, thus creating less taxable events. And finally, advantage number 5 is liquidity, transparency, and simplicity. A significant benefit is that major ETFs are very liquid, which means it's very easy to buy and sell them, and their holdings are fully transparent. They are also simple, user-friendly, and combined with low fees are a great entry point for a beginner investor. Now, of course, you may have noticed that all these advantages apply to index tracking ETFs, and yes, some of the positives do diminish if you invest in a managed ETF. The two advantages that do remain is the low entry threshold and the ability to short the ETF and buy on margin, which admittedly won't really interest the average buy and hold investor, but may be of value to more advanced traders. Now, there are some disadvantages to ETFs as well. Disadvantage number 1 is a lack of targeted investing. Since there are far less ETFs available out there than mutual funds, you may not find exactly what you want if you're looking for a very specific or unique investment opportunity. Most ETFs track major indices or large cap companies, so if you're looking for something a bit more exotic, you'll have to seek out a specialized mutual fund instead. Disadvantage number 2 is that you you won't beat the market. This really applies to all passive index investments, and you will only do as good as the market. Never better, but never worse either. When it comes to purchasing ETF shares, it's really identical to purchasing shares of any stock. You simply log on to your account with a discount broker, research and pick out the ETF you're interested in, and buy however many shares of it that you want. So which ETFs to pick if you're looking at dozens of ones that invest in, let's say, the S&P 500? Well, you first identify the top few with a little bit of research, and then just determine which has the smallest expense ratio and invest in that one. Here are the top 4 biggest ETFs by assets under management from 2023. SPRD S&P 500 ETF Trust, ticker symbol SPY. iShares Core S&P 500 ETF, ticker symbol IVV. Vanguard S&P 500 ETF, ticker symbol VOO. And Vanguard Total Stock Market ETF, ticker symbol VTI. Write these ticker symbols down and feel free to research them on Google or with your discount broker's research tools and see which currently are the cheapest to own and how expensive each share is. It's as simple as that. As a quick example, we'll take a look at the very first ETF on that list, the SPRD S&P 500 ETF, ticker symbol SPY. Here it is through the TD Ameritrade interface. As you can see, its current share price is $498 and the ETF has a fairly low expense ratio of 0.09%, which means it'll cost you just $9 if you invest $10,000. It has a good price agreement as indicated by the very tight bid-ask spread and has got very high trading volume of 70.5 million shares at the time the snapshot was taken. This all means the ETF shares are very liquid and are easy to buy and sell. As for performance, well, there will be no surprise here as the fund closely mirrors the S&P 500 and you are essentially investing in the total stock market with all the pros and a few cons that this entails. Okay, I hope you really enjoyed this fast-paced introduction to ETFs. Please do consider subscribing if you haven't yet, and I will see you in the next video.